Hello, it's Amy again from Untamed Shrew, and I'd like to address something that I spoke about in my first video, and that was my marriage to my ex-husband. And that relationship was very important and very instrumental in my life. It's part of my mission. I like to talk about synchronicity a lot, and I always see the numbers 911, 911, and they've always been really important, but I never really understood why. I actually got married on November 9th, and I've had a few other really important things show up. And it's kind of an alignment number, it's kind of a mission number for me, so it lets me know that I'm right on track with what I'm on mission to do. But my divorce ended terribly, I would say. I would say that it was not what I wanted, but something I felt like I had to do. And that it broke my heart. I really did not foresee a divorce. I mean, I intuitively knew that I would marry this man, but I did not intuitively know that I would divorce him. But he single-handedly has been like a really instrumental part of me becoming who I am. He serves kind of as a chisel, if you will, to revealing things about myself that I didn't realize I was capable of. So the strength that I gained through the suffering of the divorce and the marriage and the relationship afterwards has been very powerful. So when I speak of our experiences together, I really only can smile and say thank you. Thank you for her cheating on me, and thank you for being a narcissist, and thank you for my beautiful children who, I mean, just so much gratitude out of like mounds of suffering. But it's all perfect. It's still perfect for my situation. And I struggled with sharing some of this information because I'm like, does that make it look bad that I'm talking negatively about this person? But it's really never negative. It's only my story. And I'm allowed to share my story because that's where I've grown from. Really, honestly, the biggest struggle is like, what happens when my kids see this? When they learn the truth of our divorce. And it bothers me a bit because I think that they will, maybe judge either of us in a certain way. But it's exactly as it should be. And we actually agreed to these exact scenarios. So that's perfect. And if I can plant that seed with them sooner than later, then double bonus. My ex-husband was having an affair with my best friend, and for about 2 years, and I found out that they were having the affair while I was pregnant, and that was a big marker for me. I remember watching a show when I was like 11 years old, and it was some Lifetime Movie Network something or other, and it was a man who was having an affair when his wife was pregnant. And I kept thinking to myself, wow, what kind of man would do that? Like that man is not worthy if he's going to have an affair, while she's pregnant, because that's like sacred time. So I found out my husband was having an affair. I just didn't know the timeline. He kind of alluded to my assumptions, which were that it happened after the baby was born. So after some research, I did find out, in fact, that the affair started when I was 4 months pregnant. And man, that was the marker. And I didn't know. I could remember watching that movie, and I could remember holding that in my mind, but I didn't know why. But it was a marker for me. And at some point, me being a Gemini interferes a lot with actually making direct choices. But I couldn't decide, is this for holding on to, or is this for letting go? Is this one of those things that's like, oh yeah, that's your, get out of jail free card? Or is this something to move on, move past, right? Like, is this something I work through? And so ultimately, I ended up using it as a marker to get out of jail free. I have since written a letter on my blog to this friend of mine who I'm grateful. She did something for me that I could not do for myself. My marriage was very superficial. I was not growing in this space. As a matter of fact, when I left this marriage, I was less than I have ever been in my entire life. And agree again, something I planned on and agreed to and was not a victim of. It's just the process I was going through. So he would often say very intuitive things, and I'm not sure he realizes how intuitive he is. And I think men are very intuitive. They just like to think it's their mind that's sharing the information, when really, secretly, I believe that it's their intuition that's very strong. They just end up using it in different ways, I believe. So he kept blaming me for the divorce. Like, hi, you gave up first. You gave up first. And I'm like, what the hell? What do you mean? How could I give up first? You're the one who's having an affair with my best friend. So this was ludicrous to me. But what I found out after getting into the spiritual journey is that I had some sort of three energy field set up around my house where there was no more than three people allowed in my close space for this time. And as soon as I got pregnant with my third child, he was on his way out. So it was either one of the kids was going or he was going. And of course, that was going to be him going. So secretly, like, he wasn't super excited about having the third child. And I was like, what the heck? Because, you're only bringing more love into the world. How can you not want another child? And being a mother was like the most amazing thing I have ever done. I couldn't understand that he had all his committees and all his work and all these things he was building in his professional world. And being a mom was the biggest gift ever for me. And a little bit of hindsight as I realized that in a past life, I was not allowed to have children. So when I left that lifetime, without healing it, it created a certain karmic attraction to me in this lifetime. So like really a deep desire to have children. So that's a whole nother videotape where we can talk about past lives and the energy that might stay stuck in your field that will draw in and attract certain people and situations. That'll be a great video, by the way. So anyway, back to the story. I didn't realize that, in fact, he was right. As soon as I got pregnant with Sadie, his soul knew he was on his way out. So truly, the things that he did that seemed like he was doing them to me or to our marriage were absolutely not from a place of evil or dark. It was actually just experience, and it was an experience we both planned on having. And we had karma in another life that drew us together, but once you heal that karma, then he can be set free. I actually heard somewhere that once karma leaves the relationships, it's just left with like peace and neutrality, and that's exactly how I feel with him now. Like, I love his wife. They have a new son. It's like greatness. The narcissism plays a little bit of a part still because negotiating is fun, but that's another video. So anyway, I hope this share helps in any way that it can, but I feel it's kind of like not a good thing to not share, because so many people are going through so many struggles and they have a hard time seeing that there's a gift on the other side. So if I do anything at all today but leave you with the idea or the thought that, man, what kind of gift is coming out of this suffering that I'm in? Because I'm telling you, the gifts are, I can't even give you a number from that experience. So just true and free and clear liberation and healing and all kind of stuff. So anyway, that's it. Okay, thanks again. Bye.